I think they changed some stuff, so like it was, instead of a mutation, it was even more of a creature or something like that. But it was like a sci-fi with slashes of horror, and like they were ready to get it. I think they even cast like they cast a woman, I forget who. I think they even cast like James Belushi. I guess he had done Red Heat by then and stuff like that. That would have been awesome. But unfortunately, I think that's when Carol it's like, fuck, they should have made that instead of Cutthroat Island. Fuck's sake. Isobar, yeah. But like, I mean, this is interesting stuff that you find out. And like there was a Ridley Scott and James Cameron had wanted to do Alien 5. One was going to write it, one was going to direct it. But they fucked with them, 20th Century Fuckface, and instead they decided to do AVP. AVP or James Cameron Ridley Scott doing a fucking movie. Okay. That's like that one on, I just remembered, Halloween 25 Years of Terror. If you watch that documentary, you have fucking Clive Barker himself saying that there was an idea that Hellraiser and Michael Myers, because Freddy vs. Jason was a hit. But here's the thing. He had talked with John Carpenter on the fucking phone. And they had basically agreed if Clive Barker wrote it and John Carpenter would direct it, and vice versa. Now, think about that. I don't give a fuck if it's fucking Mickey Mouse versus Jason Voorhees. John Carpenter directing it and fucking Clive Barker writing it. That's what I'm down for. Granted, the movie may be like that. Remember that Bambi versus Godzilla? It's like 5 seconds, Bambi's eating, and then Godzilla just... That'd be Jason just goes, or Mickey Mouse. But anything with John Carpenter, Clive Barker, the other, fuck yeah. Oh, then what was that douchebag? We thought we didn't need to do that. Yeah, so we make a remake. Fuck you, bitches. Of course, Mike, OCB Communications, he has a book about, the unmade sci-fi films. And one of them is Night Skies. And that's the one where, Spielberg was going to do this horror movie about these aliens. And for some reason it reminded me of Critters, like aliens on a farmhouse. And they had Rick Baker make the designs. Then Spielberg did something. It's like, I want to make a nice alien movie, which would be E.T. And Rick Baker's like, well, I'm sort of busy with this other thing. I mean, I don't really have time to redesign it. But then Spielberg got pissed. I mean, ask Mike, OCP Communications. He knows the story very, very well. But yeah, Nice Guys, that would have been interesting. Alien 3, The Right Way, with those, that script with Hicks and Newt and, fucking the alien virus, and there's like 8 fucking firefights, and, that would have been great to see. Frank Miller's RoboCop 2, that would have been interesting. There was that point that really Die Hard at first was approached Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it would sort of be like Commando 2, I believe. I think Die Hard was really going to be like Commando 2, but then Arnold didn't want to do this, so then they sort of did. I know they approached Arnold for Die Hard, and they approached Stallone for Die Hard as well. Definitely, it would have been a different movie. Roger Rabbit 2. I know there was an interview probably months ago about how, oh yeah, we might do it. But think about it, Roger Rabbit 2 is probably never going to happen because the studios, back then, it was like what, that Disney and Warner Brothers would like got together and actually share their tunes. They would not do that today. And unfortunately, this is probably the mass majority. Like, we know Roger Rabbit, but not a lot of people is like, who the fuck's Roger Rabbit? And like, if you did today, what would you fucking put Shrek and Wall-E, and would you put and Toy Story characters? Would you put all of them in it too? So I don't know. This seems like a really expensive venture just from the licensing alone. It'd be really interesting to see though. There was one point that I didn't play the Halo video games, but they were ready to do a movie, and they were going to have like Peter Jackson produce. And I think they were talking to Guillermo del Toro to direct, but then they just said, "Oh, it's too much money, and video game guys want too much money and shit." But I didn't follow the game, but I know that was one. Ghostbusters in Hell. That was an idea that they had way back when. But I think it was Bill Murray said, "Fuck this," and I don't really blame the guy, to be honest. I know the guy seems like he can be an asshole from time to time, but at the same time it's like, Ghostbusters, I don't know, you know. The original Cursed, because Wes favorite movie Cursed, I remember it was, they were making it, right? And then, like, they just said, "Fuck this," and they recast the whole film, they refilmed the movie. Some people got left behind, like, I think Corey Feldman, and Steve Ulrich, and Omar Epps, maybe even Heather Langenkamp. I know there was, like, a bunch of actors who were in the film, and now they weren't in anymore because they refilmed it. It was like, I would like to have seen that footage. Like, that was so bad you fucking reshot it. I want to see what that is. Because Cursed, the movie we got, is a shitty movie. So, could the footage they shot really be shittier? Like, let me see that movie. You know the ironic thing? That movie's probably better than the fucking movie they actually made, so that'd be the ironic thing. True Lies 2. I know they were thinking of doing it, but then after 9/11, it's like, oh, terrorism isn't really funny. But I don't know, I love True Lies. I thought it was a good, solid action movie, and it would have been nice to see a sequel to it. I think it would have been a fun movie. I remember, like, Kevin Smith, there was a few films he wanted to do. One was The Green Hornet. I know they're making The Green Hornet now with Seth Rogen. But it would be interesting to see what Kevin Smith would have done with the Green Hornet. I don't know. I don't follow the fucking Green Hornet. I know what it is. I know, you know, Bruce Lee and shit. But, you know, Kato. But I didn't follow it. But, you know, still would have been interesting to see what Kevin Smith would have done. But there was another one he was going to do called Fletch 1. I think it was like a prequel to the Fletch movies. And Kevin Smith really wanted Jason Lee. Because, I mean, it's a prequel. And that's actually a prequel I understand, because it's not like a horror film where the whole point is who's going to live and die. It's, oh, how did this get started? I mean, that's a prequel you can understand. I mean, it's not like you think Fletch is going to die, and even if it was a new Fletch movie, like, but, you know, I think Kevin Smith is really gung-ho to get Jason Lee, and they're like, oh, fuck this, you know, fuck this guy. But I mean, I like Jason Lee, and I would have been interested in seeing it. I remember that one time, Arnold. Remember Arnold was going to do was Sergeant Rock, based on that those comic books, like Sergeant Rock. That would have been excellent. I also remember there was like one time it was going to be Doc Savage. Things like the Man of Bronze. What else with Arnold? There was Planet of the Apes. Arnold was going to do Planet of the Apes, I think, with Oliver Stone. I'm sorry, that would have been... I don't care what the fuck that movie would have been. It would still be better than Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. I mean, Arnold kicking the shit out of ape men. I can't even do an Arnold impression. I was going to try, but... You know, just... Arnold kicking the shit out of ape men. I just... That... You know... I'd be down for it. Same with I Am Legend. Like, I remember Arnold was going to star in fucking I Am Legend. Oh, man. That would have been awesome. Arnold, I'm kicking the shit out of the whole world of vampires. And maybe this time we can actually have vampires that look real instead of shitty-ass CGI effects. You killed my planet! You know. That would have been excellent, man. I Am Legend with Arnold. That I would have loved it. Oh yeah, there was that one Crusade. That one he really wanted to do. I think it was him and Paul Verhoeven. Which is pretty strange considering, like, years and years later, they made 300. Which, if you think about it, is kind of similar. You know, big, bloody guts, you know, just really big, bloody, you know, in that sort of type of era. And Crusade, and with Paul Verhoeven, you know, he's got some blood and shit. And the script supposedly was very bloody and hardcore. So Crusade, that would have been interesting. I think they were thinking of that. I think Carolco, I should say. I think it was like between that movie and Cutthroat Island. It's like, are we going to do one or the other? Oh, we'll do Crusade after. And of course, Cutthroat Island. I mean, I would have gone with, I'm sorry, even if it came out the same, honestly, I would have gone with that Stallone one, Isobar, with that sci-fi sort of horror thing.